Hello, Recting video. Today we're going to take a look at the newly released wonderful move update for the Jellicent. Now we're going to have access to the move SURF, which is going to give it at least a way easier way to do damage with the water typing. Before you only had like basically the option to go for Bubble Beam as well as for Bubble as a fast move to do water type damage. And now you have a consistent way of dealing water type damage with the move SURF, which might be pretty decent. Here we're going to have a team with the Registeel and the Pelipper as a safe swap, which is having basically the main objective there to try to get out the Noctowl, as this is the kind of issue here in general for this one. The Jellicent doesn't really like to face either the Noctowl as well as the Lantern, and both of them you kind of gonna get out with the Pelipper safe swap. The issue though is there is a very common team right now which I also faced I think 3 times. I think I cut out one of them though. Because like it's literally the same scenario where it's going to be a Medicham in the lead. We're going to have then the Noctowl in the back as well as the Lantern. And as I encountered this team 3 times, I lost against it 3 times because there's literally zero play. There's nothing that you can do to win this game. Like if you win this game and maybe you win it 1 in 100 times, there's not really a lot that you can do there unless the opponent makes insane misplays. But usually you just swap out into the Pelipper, you get hardwalled by the Lantern, you are back into your Registeel, and then you're gonna have to swap out immediately into your Jellicent just to get hardwalled by a Noctowl. So I encountered this team 3 times basically, which was not really ideal. But other than this, Jellicent is pretty decent if you have it in the right scenarios, but yeah, it's something that you kinda have to get into those scenarios. So for me, Jellicent is a decent closer, but you kinda have to try to really get them into that scenario, or you can use it in the lead as well. I think in the lead it should also work pretty well, but you just have to get those Pokemon out of the way that you don't want to face. Trevenant is also sometimes a little bit of a trickier one for this team. You just have some team effort to try to knock them out. Sadly, they seem P-tied with us. I thought they would try to go for the Shadow Ball because it would have at least done more damage, so I went straight for my charge move there, just predicting that, but they were basically perfectly in between the Seed Bomb and the Shadow Ball there. In comes the Shadow Ninetales against us here. We will be able to go ahead and go for on Shield. It's interesting to have the Great League back as well, because they didn't really have them for a longer time now. I think like nearly more than a month or something. I think we didn't have a Great League available, which is cool that we have it back now. We can go for one with the ball, and we will see now the Ninetales going to get matched up against our Registeel, as we can go back into our Jellicent now against the opponents. Medicham going straight for the Shadow Ball, and we will be able to farm them all the way down. This is the one a really amazing thing about a Jellicent. You're going to be able to destroy both the Medicham as well as the Galarian Stunfisk with this Pokemon. They're going to be a match later on as well, where I had the Galarian Stunfisk plus the Medicham in a core. And this worked really nice, and we're going to take a look at this later as well. Here we see another Medicham, but here's I think the team that I mentioned before as well. There is nothing that you can do about this. Like, what am I supposed to do about this? We're going to see a Lantern here, we're going to be able to go for an Hurricane. But lead hard loss, safe swap, hard loss. There is like something, like this is something that you're going to expect to happen for basically any team anyway in the Go Battle League. Currently, this is the issue for the Go Battle League, in my opinion. There is not really a safe swap that's completely safe. Like, there's not something like Sableye was a very good safe swap before. Nowadays, you have like Noctowl everywhere, so it's not really the safest Pokemon. Same with the Lickitung. Lickitung was a very safe Pokemon to safe swap before. Now you have Noctowl, which is also not really the best thing to face for it. Basically, the meta changed to a way where it's really RPS, because there's not really a lot of safe swaps available that can flip matchups, which you then can take advantage of. Like, for example, safe swaps are really cool if you have like in scenarios that you're in certain scenarios. For example, you have a matchup with like Sableye, and you would win in the 1 shields, maybe not in the 0 shields, maybe not in the 2 shields, but then you can play for the 1 shields, and if they don't shield, you're going to win switch advantage back, and if they do shield and they're going to try to win back their own switch advantage, you at least get a shield advantage. And this is something that misses out kinda recently here, by the way. I forgot to cut out one of the spicier battles, I guess. Didn't see that one, but I tried to, like, I had like one match up against Mr. Mime and whatever, which I just cut out of here because, like, I won this easily, of course, but it doesn't really matter because, like, it doesn't really show too much. Here, at least it was a little bit tricky against the Electrode, I guess, which is kinda interesting. but the opponent didn't really have the Pokemon that you really want to have here, so they're actually going to be able to knock me out here. I'm just going to go 2 shields into the Jellicent because I know I can just shield up once. I can go over farm here a little bit as well. Go for 1 Surf, win this game pretty easily. As they go for the Thunderbolt here, I can go for 2 more fast moves. And this Surf going to knock them out. Surf going to do some nice damage anyway in this meta. And I can go for another Surf to hopefully knock out the Victini as well. Let's see. It's coming through, it doesn't knock them out actually quite yet. I can shield up the move. If it's a Psychic, I'm fine. It's going to be a V-Crate. I'm going to be even better off here now, as the next hack's going to knock them out. Next opponent, we're going to see a Galarian Stunfisk against us. We can go ahead and go for the Focus Blast here. And I will be able to go ahead and we'll be able to hit this one. And what we can also do is we can catch the move perfectly onto our Pelipper. This Pelipper will enjoy this Earthquake quite a bit, as we're going to be able to bait out the Altaria, which is really good for our team as well. We can go for 1 Weather Ball here, which is going to not do enough damage to threaten them in any way, but I kind of want to have some damage on them, so I will put them into the range for 1 Zap Cannon, which wasn't the case if I didn't go for it. And as the charge moves don't really care too much about here, I don't really care too much about with the Registeel, as they're all resisted. I don't really mind them getting a little bit more extra energy if I get them into a range where 1 Zap Cannon is going to knock them out. But here, again, we're going to get aligned against a Noctowl in the back. And this is not where we really want to be. We're going to be able to go for some service. We can still try it out here. There were scenarios before where I just quit out immediately. But here I kind of want to try out if we can still do something. We can go for 1 Surf here. We will be able to get them pretty low. We can go for another Surf here. And I just want to try to catch a move maybe. Try to see what I can do here. But this is not really looking too good. Getting locked into the Noctowl is basically impossible to escape from. This is a thing as well. If you want to play it later on in tournaments, you might want to go actually for Bubble, so you do more damage in general against Noctowl, and you might be able to do you won't be able to flip it anyway, but you will maybe in some certain scenarios be able to do enough damage to threaten some shields against them and maybe get some advantages. But then again, you're gonna be weak against other Pokemon, like other Jellicents, that's going to run the move Hex. So I don't know what really is the best option here right now. I think for the Open Great League, still Hex going to be the better one, but I think maybe for the tournaments that Bubble might be the better one just for the Noctowl matchup here, even though you're still going to not be able to win this. Unlike me there, with just 1 charge move was enough to knock out the opponent completely there because they didn't want to shield. As we see a Samurott against us here with a Waterfall. Samurott, really cool Pokemon actually, we're very underrated, because they're just other water type Pokemon that are a little bit stronger, so they're going to have more focus. But actually Samurott, a very cool Pokemon, unless I can catch the Razor Shell, which is sadly a very bad move. And I really wish that there was I don't know, more moves in general in the game that help out some Pokemon, and just in general that there are C-Days that give Pokemon more than just 1 move. We had the same with the Walrein, where it really helped them out. Just giving it Hydro Cannon plus this move was pretty nice, kind of from Niantic in my opinion. It was not really necessary, but it was kind of nice. Which is something that we get for other community days as well, as we had already, they are basically always some signature moves that the at least recent starter has. And sadly they never put them into the game yet, so I really hope that they're going to start getting those into the game. While the Samurott going to take this Zap Cannon into their face, going to get it completely destroyed, and the Nidoqueen won't have the best time here either. I'm going to let this move go through. They can Earth Power me away if they want to, and they do want to, but I'm just going to farm them all the way down with my Jellicent. Don't waste my time there. And gonna go into the next match. We're going to have a very good lead here for us, which is going to be the Noctowl. We see a Sableye coming in, which we just gonna go for the potential debuff with the Zap Cannon, and also a lot of damage here. They're going to shield it up, going to get the debuff. I'm going to let them throw 1 charge move here. And then I'm going to decide to swap out into my Pelipper. Pelipper going to be able to do some nice damage here. We have a shield advantage. We will be able to shield 1 move up later on, because they're going to get to another one here anyway. We have to shield this one up for sure. And we will be able to go ahead and go for 1 Weather Ball now. Hopefully this puts them into range where I can farm them down with the Wing Attack, but let's take a look at this. We are not going to be able to do that, and the Noctowl is swapping in onto our charge move. This is actually fine, because we can still reach the Hurricane just in time. And what this allows us, it allows us to A, get them low, and B, knock them out at the same time as we're gonna get knocked out. And we're gonna go ahead and go into our Jellicent now, facing Trevenant. Now we have a Jellicent against, like with our Registeel on our side, against a Trevenant and also still a half-healthy Sableye. There's no way of me winning this game. I get the bait done here correctly at least. I can slow reach the Zap Cannon, which is cool, but there's literally no way for me to win this game anymore. Like, they have 2 Ghost Pokemon, I have nothing to hit Ghost, and I'm going to call the bait here, and it was a bait. So, Seed Bomb is coming through. Maybe there's still a chance? I don't know. We're going to shoot up the move here. It's going to be another Seed Bomb. They're swapping into the Sableye. They're going to get knocked out by our Registeel here. We have 1 HP here. They can farm me down, and actually one more fast move. I think they might have thought they already won this game. I think they had a Seed Bomb stored, but this does not matter to me. Jellicent going to be able to win this one here. Good game there. Next opponent, Medicham in the lead. Not really the best one that we want to see here. We see the Jellicent coming in as a safe swap. Interesting team by the opponent already. I have no idea how they want to deal with a Noctowl lead so far, but I guess the matchup with the Medicham is kind of neutral for the Noctowl. But it's still not the best one, like in general a little bit weak against those flying plus normal types. As we can go ahead and go for some Weather Balls against the Jellicent. Realigning our Pokemon is of course amazing, and we can see what the final Pokemon is, which is going to be the Noctowl. So my opponent would have completely hardwalled me if they just went ahead and realigned their Pokemon correctly. Which luckily didn't happen here, and I will be able to align my Pokemon correctly. But it's still going to be a tough one. As the Medicham is coming in here, we will have to go and let this move go through. It's going to be the Power Punch, amazing catch from us. And we're going to actually let this next move go through as well, which is going to be the Psychic. Going to do basically not a lot of damage there. Jellicent is a very good Pokemon, by the way, in terms of bulk. If you didn't know this, Jellicent has insanely decent, like, it's not like crazy bulk or whatever, but it's, I think, on par with like Medicham or something. It has like 2100 in terms of the bulk rating, which is a little bit higher than Tapu Fini, a little bit lower than Galarian Stunfisk. So it's like literally in between Tapu Fini and Galarian Stunfisk in terms of the bulk. We will be able to go for one Focus Burst here, knocking them hopefully all the way out, and we can win this game as well. Good game there. Going to the next match, second to last match as well, as we see a Sylveon. Also another thing, I'm going to give away a lot of the tickets for the MEweedle research right now, because they go over the entire month on my Twitter. So follow me there. I am not partnered with Niantic, I pay for them, and I have to friend you then, and most likely need 7 encounters for that then to give people a ticket. But yeah, I'm giving away over the season a few of those tickets. Already gave one away, most likely gonna give one away for this video as well here. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter if you want one free ticket there. Always one per video. Like I saw someone thinking that I give away to everybody. Like, I am not completely rich, but I kind of want to give back to the community. You will see a Bastion. I don't really like the Bastion, of course. I will be able to go for some Weather Walls here, and I will be able to go into my Jellicent now, trying to gain some extra energy. The opponent swaps into the Hypno. Who the hell is still playing Hypno? I actually tried to play Hypno last season. As you might have already seen, there was no video about Hypno, for the obvious reason that Hypno completely failed for me. This Pokemon was horrific, it did not work at all, and this is something that you, by the way, don't always see. Some YouTubers just put on everything that they do in general and every game that they play, which is totally fine. This is more authentic, I guess. I only put on what actually works, which is, I think, also something that like people are more interested in. Or if it doesn't work, like, it has to be like a reason why I still gonna put it on there. For this team, definitely still worked out, but it's early ranks. Like, I cannot really say too much about it. It worked out for me. But if you face like the one team, like if you don't get the Noctowl out of the way, it's tricky with the Jellicent in the back. Jellicent itself, if you want to hear my honest opinion about it, it's definitely something that you can play, but you should not play. Like, with that, I mean, it's not completely meta. It's going to be some off-meta pick that is decent to play, but like not crazy. Like something like a Chestnut, for example. Like, that's an off-meta play that has good core-breaking potential, but if you don't get it onto those scenarios, you're going to get screwed. For example, for Chestnut, it would be any flying type. Here, it's any dark type, any Noctowl, any normal type. Those Pokemon are going to knock you out. But yeah, again, for the Hypno before there, I don't really upload stuff where it just doesn't work out unless it's like a funny Pokemon that I try to showcase. But that's why there was no video for me from this Pokemon last time. But yeah, Also, I'm going to be away for a lot of parts of the season for several travels, so like it's going to have to pre-produce some stuff. If you want to help me with that, always feel free to send in some battles with a link in the description for some shoutcast. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I see you in the next one and have a great rest of your day. Bye!